This is going to be the first video in a series that is going to show you how to get yourself from zero, which is having no server, no experience, all the way up to having yourself a active PvE or PvP server, or even a personal server. And even if you wanted to go as far as to having a Discord community attached to that particular server, where you've got all of your bots that feeds into the Discord itself and gives you your controls through there. So we're going to cover in this what you need to be buying, and that is to learn with, your basic controls once you have bought your server, and we're going to also cover finding your server through the PlayStation search boxes on the actual game interface itself, which I'll take us over there, and we'll show you exactly how to do that. Now, I understand there's a little bit of confusion when you do start, whereabouts you should be going and what filters you need to be turning on and turning off in order to find it. So we'll address that and we'll get to it. So the first thing you need to know is Nitrado. So they have the license for DayZ at the moment. So all of the community servers that are bought, they're ran through this company. I do believe they're a German-based company, and you have to purchase your server through these guys, and that then is able to give you the access to edit through their web interface, to mod your files, and then of course you can play on your particular platform. And of course you've got them all here. So when you first come to this website, it's going to prompt you to have a browse of the games. So we're going to look at DayZ, of course, and the particular platform we're going to be using to demonstrate on is going to be DayZ PS4. So give that a click. When you click on that, so it's going to give you this little option at the top here. So your subscription and your prepaid. So the difference between these two is the subscription is going to roll each month out of your account, and you're not really going to have to worry about it. Whereas your prepaid, so once you get to the end of your runtime, you'll probably get an email from Nitrado, and they'll say you've only got 2 or 3 days left. It's probably time to extend it. Now, personally, I'd always stick with subscription. The main reason being, if your server runs out and is stopped, there can be some issues or some bugs with getting it reinstated. And that is, I mean, that's the minority of cases, but it can happen. So I'd always stick with subscription. Subscription, thank you very much. So you'll come down here and you've got 3 options. These are like the preset options. So you've got your 10 slot, your 16 slot, and your 24 slot. Your slots is your player count. So 10, 16, 24, and you've also got the option, of course, to customize the server to your preferences. Now, if we just click on this for argument's sake, a little scroll down, of course, our platform is PlayStation, and you'll see this here. So you'll find that you've got this slide bar you can click on to move it up and down. So you could go for 50, you could go for 18. Now, when you're starting, the best thing you can do is always keep it as cheap as possible. So don't go buying a 100 slot server. You see, it bumps the price up. This is for 3 days. Say for argument's sake, you want to do 30 days at £75. And that's upwards of £750 for 3 years. 100 slot servers. So I always stick with 30 personally. It's down to yourself and your preferences. But when you do start, always start with 10 slots, because you're going to be spending a lot of time on the server itself, messing around and changing things. You're not necessarily going to be having a huge amount of players on, unless, of course, you decide to invite a lot of friends. Then, of course, you can up it. But this isn't the end all. You can edit this later, and you can change your subscription to fit you further down the line if you need to. So once you've picked your server slots, you want to come down to your runtime. As I say, I always say 30 days tends to work the best for most people. When you come down where it should be hosted, you want to be clicking where you're going to be central. So, of course, if you travel, where you're going to be spending the most of the time. So if you're in New York, say, and you travel to Miami or UK, just where you're going to be for the vast majority of the time. and that is gonna directly translate to, of course, having a better experience with your lag and your players across the world connecting to you. Moving down, you've got some basic information, your FAQs, and just some general information about hosting your DayZ server. Once you've picked it, what you do is you click choose this configuration, and that'll take you over to your payment method. It is different on Xbox. You do have to purchase that, I do believe, through the Microsoft Store, and then you'll get access to your web interface from there. So let's shoot across to what it'll look like after you've purchased this. So here we are on the game server list. Now, this can be found underneath your services. You want to come down to your server, click on the web interface. So this is going to bring you over to your server's dashboard. Now, you see there's two buttons here. There's two buttons here. Now, when you first buy the server and you're loading up fresh, you're probably going to have a prompt to start your server. So go ahead and start it. It's completely fine. And when you come down to the left, you're going to see all of your drop downs, and these are your settings, your information, and your tools. So your general stuff for running and controlling the server. So your CPU usage and your memory usage, your player count. As you can see, there's nobody on this one, as it is a test server. So these two, they're only really going to be relevant, I mean, at least to me, when you're looking at your server performance when something's either going wrong or you've just installed something to the server. So it's not really to be worried about now. The only thing to worry about is if it shoots up and it stays there for a long period of time whilst the server is operational. Now, when you do a restart or the server manually resets itself, automatically resets itself, this does have a tendency to jump up. That's not anything to worry about, and that's totally fine. It's normal. So in the spirit of keeping things simple and getting the server up and running and functional to jump on and play on, so we're going to go to General Settings, and the things we're going to be looking at is, to start with, your whitelisting. So you're going to have all of these different controls, and it's going to be a little bit overwhelming when you do start, if you're starting with no prior knowledge to server ownership. That's fine. So we're going to come down, and what we want to do is enable our whitelisting. So what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to pop in your PlayStation ID. So I'm going to pop mine in. And that's going to mean only you have access to this server. And of course, subsequently, you can add people to this whitelist, and you can remove them. You can also stick them on the ban list. And you've got base damage controls here as well. Now, we're not going to go through these. We're just going to be looking at the whitelisting. So we're going to pop across to the PlayStation, and we're going to try and find our server in the community tab. I'll show you exactly how that works. I'm going to assume that those who are watching this video have some sort of knowledge with DayZ as a game, so I'm not going to start from absolute zero, but when you do click your play, you can have the three different tabs, so you can control that with your R1 and your L1, and it's going to take you across from your official community and your favourites. So as you can see, we want to be searching for our Nitrado server, so you can use your right trigger, come across to your search by name, and we're going to type in the name of our server, and just use the keyword in it, which is hiding, and there it is. So you can favourite this, and that then will drop into your favourites. Of course, tap square and refresh, and here it is. There is a little issue that you can run into sometimes when you are searching for your server, and that is the filters. So if you look at them all, they are disabled. Now, that's fine when you're searching, but if you start messing with these before, and you try and search for your server, you can run into the issue where it will not load any servers. So the fix for that is just reset all your filters and just search for it fresh. and it should pop up there. So as you can see, whitelisting is enabled on this server. However, the tag is whitelisting disabled. So if I enable that, it'll show. If I enable password, it won't show. So best thing you can do is just leave all of these as they are and search for your server without messing with them. Let's jump back over to favourites and let's jump straight in. Alright, and here we are. So just to recap, hopefully if you follow this video step by step, that now you've gone from having zero knowledge of server hosting, zero prior experience, all the way to having a functional server that's up and running and has a whitelist system attached to it, that you can control through your computer. So fingers crossed, this is going to continue. If it does well, and get some decent feedback. People enjoy what they're seeing. We'll continue, and we'll move all the way up from zero, which is again having no server ownership knowledge, to actually having a functional server that you can maybe attach to a Discord and mold in your own sort of way. Even up to maybe some tutorials and making little mods such as the one that you're seeing now. So yeah, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, give us a little bit of feedback in the comments. It's always welcomed. And of course, if you don't want to miss out on anything, if you are new to server ownership, feel free to throw some questions in, and I'll do my best to answer them. I'll also post in the description some really good Discords that you should be going to, even if you are, if you have some experience that you should be aware of, because they are fantastic sort of resources. Give us a subscribe again if you don't want to miss anything, and that is going to be it for this video. Thanks very much for watching, folks. Until next time.